Today we will be learning how to write an equation for altitude and median on a triangle. What is the median? On a triangle, the median is a line connecting one vertex to the midpoint of another opposite side. So that means this is a median and this is also a median. What is the altitude? The altitude on a triangle is a line connecting one vertex that crosses through the opposite side at a perpendicular angle. Today we will be learning how to write these equations using a real-life situation. This is Graham. Graham owns a company that makes random geometric masterpieces for anyone who wants one. Graham has a client. His client gives him specific directions on how to build his sculpture that are very complicated. First off, it must be on a two-dimensional XY plane. It must be both perpendicular to his house and the ground, and 1 unit equals 1 foot. The ground is the x-axis and the house must be the y-axis. It must be a triangle with the points 1, 3, 5, 7, and 4, negative 7. There must be 2 poles along the median of the lowest point and the altitude of the highest point in elevation. This client thinks he is being sneaky, but he has no idea what Graham is even capable of. You see, Graham took geometry, so he can understand what seems like senseless gibberish to everyone else. Graham takes the following information from the client and plots it on his front yard. He puts it in with relative ease, considering that it's only a triangle with 3 points on an XY coordinate graph. First off, he has to find the altitude. In order to do that, he must extend the third side from the highest point, considering that it is not possible to draw perpendicular angles straight from the third side through the other side without having to go out of the triangle range. So, in order to find the slope of the altitude, Graham must first find the slope of the third side using the following formula from these 2 points. y1 minus y2 over x1 minus x2. So if he uses that formula to find the slope, he'll come with 3 plus 7 over 4 minus 1, which should give us the slope of 10 over negative 3 or negative 10 over 3. It doesn't matter because it is both negative, considering it is just the slope of a line. So we know that this line right here has a slope of negative 10 over 3. And then we know that this next line right here, the altitude, is everything opposite to that. So first off, rather than being negative, it is positive, and the denominator and numerator on the slope of the third line is then flipped, which gives us the slope of 3 over 10. So using the point of 5, negative 7, we are now able to put this, Now that we know the slope of that altitude, we are now able to use the point 5, 7 in order to put the altitude into an equation, which is y minus 7 equals the slope, which is 3 over 10 times 5
x
minus
minus
7.
5.
That is our equation for the altitude of this triangle from the point of highest elevation. So there's that pole that Graham inserts first. Graham must now find the median, which is a line segment connecting the midpoint of the 2 points from the line segment 1, 3, and 5, 7, which is right in the middle, and the median is a line that connects the third and opposite point to the midpoint of that side. Now, in order to calculate the midpoint, using the formula x1 plus x2 divided by 2 and y1 plus y2 divided by 2, Graham is able to find the midpoint of the points 3, 1, and 5, 7. So he inserts those numbers correctly, and he gets 1 plus 5 over 2, comma 3 plus 7 over 2, which is 6 divided by 2, comma 10 divided by 2, which gives us the point 3, 5. So Now that Graham has found the midpoint 3, 5, he is able to use those 2 points to find the mid-segment, but he must find the slope first, so we will use the same formula as he used for the altitude, which is y1 minus y2 over x1 minus x2. So we get 5 plus 7 over 3 minus 4, which is equivalent to 13 over negative 1. So we get a slope of 13 that is negative. So Graham then uses that and incorporates it for his slope, and so we get the equation y minus 5 equals negative 13 times x minus 3. Graham then uses this equation to put in the pole along the median, so then he has now successfully completed the sculpture. His client is so incredibly amazed that he decides to pay Graham $400 extra. Graham is now rich and retired young and is now living his life in the Bahamas all alone in his mansion. All because he knew exactly how to find the altitude and the median. And that is how you find the altitude and the median and write equations for them. Thank you for watching, and please pay a good amount of attention to Graham and Volley, who volunteered against their will to be in this video. I'm just kidding, they actually were not here against their will, they were volunteers.